Welcome to the first episode of Season 2 of Full Throttle, the Presidio Group's automotive industry podcast. I'm your host, Jason Stein. On a regular basis, Full Throttle serves as the industry's meeting point for great conversations with leaders across the automotive world.
And we've had rich history of providing this know-how and sharing that and helping people be better every day at what they do. Again, Sky allows us to bring tools that just proactively look for opportunities for improvement, and then they proactively create notifications and again bring those notifications to the pocket of the cascade of employees in the dealership and making sure that they're aware of opportunities to make things better.
When you're someone like Pearl Percy with such a diverse background, there are bound to be moments that the automotive world can learn from, and vice versa. Where has Pearl been? Try JP Morgan, Walt Disney, Clorox, Nordstrom, and now lending those experiences to JM Family Enterprises as its Chief Corporate Development Officer. And with experience at all of those companies, there's plenty to share to make the automotive world a better place. And that's what Pearl Percy is trying to do at the 50-plus-year-old company: share learnings and employ capital, of course. With the path she is on, Pearl is putting a new lens in place, a way in which to filter how JM Family Enterprises diversifies its business and explores new pathways to success. It's been a learning moment, and the world of venture capital is a fascinating one, especially at this time in the industry. She's interested in technology and moving auto retail at a quicker pace. And with a company focused on dealer profitability, their strategic investments have been around how to support the ecosystem to bring modern tools to their dealer partners. Ultimately, they want to make the customer experience a good one. Today, we talk about her investments, the choices ahead, and what she's learned in her new experience. Pearl Percy is my guest today, the first one in our second season of Full Throttle.
Hi, I'm Pearl Percy. I'm the Chief Corporate Development Officer at JM Family Enterprises, and this is Presidio's podcast, Full Throttle.
What a pleasure to have you on the program, Pearl. You have been, we have shared the stage together, but now we get to share this stage together. So thank you for being on Full Throttle.
Well, thanks for having me.
I want to talk, first of all, a little bit about your history, because some people might not be aware that when we walk through your history, there is no automotive until you get to JM Family Enterprises.
That's true, except for my own personal purchases, yes.
Your personal purchases do qualify. You should know. But when we look through it, JP Morgan, Walt Disney, Clorox, Nordstrom. I mean, if anything, you can show us how to get through the lines at Disney World faster, and we'll look good, right? With Nordstrom.
Yeah. Yeah. So I started my career over 20 years ago as an investment banker, really focusing on M&A, mergers and acquisitions. Early days was really focused on media, but most recently consumer retail. Subsequent to investment banking, I have had the pleasure of working at what I'd call blue chip heritage firms, and that's the common theme. Really businesses that really cared about the consumer and had these amazing value propositions and long histories. And when it came time for these companies to think about growing outside of their core, that's where I've come in and really helped think about inorganic growth and really structured transactions. So investments, acquisitions, mergers. And so I think that's the common theme, that even though right now I've been with JM Family for 4 years and auto is really kind of a little bit far afield, in many ways it isn't. When you think about JM Family's position, it's focus on stakeholder value creation and how fundamentally the customer and our dealer partners are changing and how you navigate the changing landscape.
Why automotive? What was appealing to you with automotive?
Honestly, what was appealing to me about automotive was the fact that JM Family is such a differentiated platform, to have such a long legacy and strong core values and strong cultural history, and a point of differentiating always being laser focused on dealer partner profitability. It's a great platform to think about coming to and helping think about deploying capital. And really, for us, it's about growth and continuing our 50-plus year history of growing and evolving and just doing it in a different way. It's a complement to the day-to-day operational focus that we have.
we're going to get into some of the strategic partnerships that you've already been a part of. But what was the biggest learning curve for you as it related to the auto industry and becoming involved in automotive?
I think the biggest learning curve for me is understanding how much of the consumer wallet is really focused on auto, and really taking some learnings that I've had from Disney, which is really around how the consumer is changing, how they're consuming media, and from Nordstrom, frankly, and how the consumer was changing from purchasing fashion apparel, and really understanding how technology really continues to enable that experience, and really how businesses that have a long legacy and long standing relationships can embrace technology. And so for me, it's really just understanding the nuances on how the market has been changing and where the unit economics are in the value chain.
And JM Family, as you have said, has a long history of being at the forefront of the automotive retail space. And some of your investments are really going to will boost the ability to address different opportunities within dealerships, right? That's kind of your core mission here, isn't it?
And I think it goes back to the core mission that existed before I came to JM Family. We've always been very, very focused on dealer profitability. And at the end of the day, our strategic investments have been around how do we support the ecosystem to bring modern tools to our dealer partners, and ultimately to make the consumer experience a good experience. We've done a handful of investments. Our most recent one was in RockEd, which is really around how do we create modern learning experiences in order to provide sales enablement. And so we think of it as Duolingo meets TikTok, a very modern way of learning, 30 seconds, small videos in the pocket, on your iPhone. We think training has been always an important part of the auto retail landscape, but we believe that it's 10% classroom, 20% coaching, and 70% on the job. And now we have these modern tools where on the job is a coach in your pocket, but in ways that younger generations want to consume things in 30-second videos that are very hard-hitting and impactful.
Well, it's not only RockEd. If we go back to even last summer, you were already a lead investor in a new venture capital financing round that was done with Skyvision. And
right.
And there was another example of wanting to be, I think, probably at the forefront of everything that was happening.
Yeah, and for us, it wasn't necessarily being at the forefront. It was really just embracing modern tools. And when we think about it, it's an extension of what we've done historically. Historically, we've been able to go into our dealer partners' retail stores and observe behaviors and provide consulting services. And that's really how we've had rich history of providing this know-how and sharing that and helping people be better every day at what they do. Again, Sky allows us to bring tools that just proactively look for opportunities for improvement, and then they proactively create notifications, and again, bring those notifications to the pocket of the cascade of employees in the dealership, and making sure that they're aware of opportunities to make things better.
So let me ask you, in the 4 years that you've been with JM Family, are you now inundated with various technologies that come your way, and is it now your role to sift through and really hone in on the correct ones?
Yeah, I mean, I think we think of ourselves as a partner, and in some ways a river guide for external parties to make sure that they're having the right conversations with the right internal counterparts. As you know, JM Family is multifaceted. We have 3 major auto divisions, and then we have some non-auto divisions. And so making sure that when someone calls JM Family, we're making sure they're calling the right person at JM Family, to be able to give them feedback on their product, but also make sure that if they have something great, that we have the right traction to be able to pilot. What's been a blessing is that JM Family's had this long history and reputation. So for me, it hasn't been about going out and creating a big pipeline. We've had this pipeline. Now it's really creating this muscle and this awareness that, we're a unique we're uniquely positioned because other investors have capital, which is amazing to have, but we have this unique combination of relationships, industry knowledge, expertise, and capital that allows us to be not only a good investor, but a thought partner, as well as a place to incubate and pilot and refine products.
I'm guessing that as you examine different things that come your way, you are looking at what's to come or what will change maybe ahead of others. So how do you balance that, what we need today versus what we're going to need in the future?
Yeah, and I think the way we organize that is we're always very mindful of our business unit strategies and being really connected internally around what's their number 1, 2, 3 strategy, so that as we are out in the marketplace seeing things, we can be that dating game matchmaker and providing that connection. So those are priorities that are near term. When I think about business unit, it's strategies, it's 12 months, 24 months, things that are their burning platforms today, making sure we're connecting on that. And then some of what we're doing is being more proactive on mega trends. And so when we think about that, these are some obvious mega trends, like clearly labor and customer service is a trend where we feel like we need to continue to differentiate because it's core to who we are. And so as we're thinking about labor trends, you'll see this common theme where we're all around how do you retain and train and provide the best to the people you already have, because we know it's so expensive to go out and find new employees in this tight labor market. And so you'll see this theme in some of our investments. It's really not about creating or buying or investing in tools that are replacing labor, but it's around how do you create tools or create the right tools and opportunities for our existing employees to do better and be better at their jobs.
So you mentioned a couple of trends. Where else should we be looking when we think about the changing automotive industry from a technology perspective?
Yeah, I mean, I think we have been particularly focused on the service bay, like a lot of people, but just really around, that's an important point of contact and differentiation for the relationship with the end consumer. And so how do you continue to provide the right experience for the consumer and provide it in a way that's cost effective and efficient? And so that's one big area where we're spending a lot of time.
And as it relates to labor and customer service, what are you learning there?
That the end customer has expectations. They want information, they want to understand, they want transparency. And so, when it comes to satisfaction scores, which continue to be really important for everyone in the ecosystem, it's really important to have that at your fingertips and to be able to share that journey with the customer. And so that's an area of focus for us, kind of not only data for data's sake, but data because people want to understand want to be informed.
Now that you're a little more immersed in the auto industry, is automotive lagging? Is it ahead in some areas? Characterize where automotive is, what you've learned versus Clorox or JP Morgan or North.
Yeah, I think the biggest difference is our relationship, the consumer's relationship with their auto is a special relationship, and it's such a considered purchase and such a large purchase. Unlike apparel where, you buy a pair of shoes that's a couple $100, it's a significant purchase, but it's not going to make or break your budget. Where, most consumers are, this is a big part of their wallet. And so I think that, we have a great opportunity to evolve. I think we're kind of keeping up with the pack. I think the relationship the dealer has with the consumer remains very important and is probably a little bit more, and maybe not feel this way, but probably a little bit more protected than some of this stuff that's going on with Amazon and more commodity products. So I mean, maybe some people would think that auto hasn't evolved as fast as other spaces, but it feels like they're, kind of right in line with where they should be and where the consumer expectations are.
Finally, Pearl, JM Family was the lead sponsor at the Presidio Automotive Technology Summit. And we saw some cutting edge technology in the room, and we were able to network and bring together both the investment community and the tech community. It struck me that the tech community is full of opportunity, ripe with opportunity. Would that be your characterization as well right now?
Yeah, I think that when we look back, and I've talked to some other people, that conceptually we've been talking about tech innovation in this space for a long time, but it feels like we're just seeing real product that really is making a difference, and there's real product market fit. And so it's an exciting time where it's not about PowerPoint presentations and market opportunities and theoretical problems we can go solve, but real companies providing real solutions. And so we're excited to partner with those companies and actually test and get them in market and help get them in the wild to see, the impact that they can make.
Yeah, wonderful. Thank you for sharing your insights, and welcome 4 years later to Automotive.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Hey, thank you, Pearl. Thanks again to my guest, the Chief Corporate Development Officer at JM Family Enterprise, Pearl Percy. And thanks for listening to Full Throttle. Come back to us later in the month for our next interview on this platform. Email me with suggestions, jstein@thepresidiogroup.com, or go to the website, thepresidiogroup.com. You can follow us on LinkedIn as well. Thanks again for listening to the program. We'll see you next time.